My video for December the 4th, 2018 is video number 2927, and the title is The Reincarnation Trap. Yesterday, I listened to a really long video recommended by my longtime friend, PeterSiNeh. It was about the age of Earth and the enormity of all it is. Then last night, I led a meeting of the Metaphysicians Circle. Our guest speaker, Bhaskar Tanali, is a professor at the Florida Institute of Technology. He grew up in India and gave an interesting talk about karma, reincarnation, and liberation. Talk about synchronicity. It was as if I was being set up to re-examine my life and the principles upon which I have done my best to live since childhood. Is life nothing more than riding a perpetual merry-go-round? Yes, it keeps coming back to that question for me. It's tiring and frustrating just to consider. Damn it, the professor even thinks we can come back as mosquitoes or rats. We do not even get to play different human roles on each cycle. It's simply life experiencing itself as all possibilities. No intelligent design or loving designer. I now realize how appropriate my comment was in the previous video, one I have said many times. Stop the world, I want to get off. If there is no destination, no purpose other than to entertain a creative idiot, I'd rather not play the game at all. Do any of us really have a choice? Can we know for sure? Ironically, I was also in a meeting yesterday morning before the one that I mentioned here about the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita at the Yoga Shakti mission. And one of the speakers that I have lined up for the Metaphysicians Circle in a couple of weeks was also at the meeting last night, as well as the one yesterday morning. So I got to spend a little bit of time with him and his wife in each meeting. And again, the synchronicity of everything that seems to be happening in my world now just amazes me and has me scratching my head and laying in bed when I'm trying to sleep, wondering where everything is headed. I'd like there to be purpose to my life. I've always felt there was. I mean, I've been convinced since I was a little kid, certainly conscious of it since I was a teenager, that my life's purpose is to help usher in the kingdom of heaven on earth. I know it's like a broken record. I keep repeating that again and again because it has been that which has carried me through decade after decade of my human existence. But the idea that I might have been a mosquito for a little while, or it might have been a rat, or it might have been any other creature, maybe even a crystal or a rock or a tree, whatever. If all life is just the manifestation of all possibilities, and there's no meaning or no purpose to it, then why? Why would anybody choose to be on a merry-go-round that goes nowhere? Why would anybody choose to keep coming back to an existence that may begin with hope, but always end in the despair of not being able to reach a conclusion, not being able to get to a destination that could be described as heaven or bliss? We can achieve certain levels of consciousness through meditation. And that's one of the questions that I asked as I opened the meeting last night. You know, what have you ever experienced past lives? Well, I have. And I know that in one past life that was vivid, in a group exercise where we all were going back into past lives, I saw myself as a priest presiding over human sacrifice. Horrific. There's no way you could get me to do that now. I wouldn't even, if as I said when I was in the army, if it came between me killing somebody else that I didn't know and being killed, I'd choose the bullet. And I know reincarnation has some validity, especially as I've repeated in other videos, I'm sure. There was that young Christian boy that grew up at an early age talking about his previous life and with vivid detail how he had died in the war in England. And finally, his parents took him there, and he knew his way around and even recognized and ended up in conversation with one of the people that was still alive from when he was there as a young man, who was, of course, killed. So I don't question reincarnation. And even in the Bible, Jesus asked the question of his disciples, "Who do men say that I am?" And there were suggestions repeated that he was one of the prophets that was reincarnated. So this is not a new concept, not even in Christianity, that teaches only one life, that we only live once. No, we don't. I'm convinced we do not. But I want to make this life meaningful by achieving a goal. And the goal is to help bring the kingdom of heaven to earth, to create a paradise, if you will, where our dreams can actually be fulfilled, where our visions can be realized. The greatest visions that we have can actually come in to personal experience, not just for one individual, but for all of us. Is heaven on earth a dream that can never come true? Is there no sanity, no logical, no purpose that we're going to reach a destination and come to a conclusion? Well, you say, Ron, if you come to a conclusion, then everything is over. And so it has to keep recycling. Well, I'd like to think that I am able, and many of us are able, to create a better existence, better worlds, if you will. Okay, I get the idea that with all of the planets and suns and stars and all that there is in the universe, that there has to be endless possibilities. But I don't like the idea of feeling like it's a trap. As I said, a merry-go-round that goes round and round and gets nowhere, or a Ferris wheel, or whatever. I'd like there to be something more. And I can agree with the many people who are tired of going round and round and getting nowhere. I'm tired of a reincarnation trap. Thank you for listening, and namaste.